Welcome to
영국 mango. 영국 mango.
영국 mango.
영국 mango.
Good job.
And today we are talking flat sharing.
Woohoo! Flat
So-
sharing.
Grab a drink and come join us.
Before we kick off, what's flat?
So a flat is an apartment, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it just in the UK we use flat? Is it not something you heard of much?
I think before coming to UK, I thought like a room hunting. But I didn't expect what flat meant. So flat includes apartment, studio, bedroom, everything, right?
Yeah.
Just in general.
So a flat is, the whole apartment. Mm-hmm. But I guess if you're looking for just a room in a flat, you might also say flat hunting as well, because you're looking for somewhere to live and you're looking to live in a flat. So you would use it for that as well.
Yeah. So today's topic, flat hunting, is directly related to our quality of life, our life itself, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your flat? What kind of flat do you live in at the moment?
I live in a shared flat at the moment on a 2-bedroom, which is in like quite central London. What about you?
It's very industrial. It's a very nice flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I live north of the river in a shared flat with 2 flatmates. I always say roommates, but roommates means you're sharing the room with someone.
Roomies.
Yeah, but it's more flatmates because they have their own bedroom.
Yeah. So I think one of the things we can share is how do we look for a flat? That would be a first question whoever come to London to live, study, or work, anything, right?
Yeah, so how did you find your flat?
I looked up so if you go to Google and look up, let's say you're looking for a 2-bedroom, you can search up 2-bedroom to rent in London. Then you'll see a bunch of lists of websites. Some of the things that we usually use would be Zoopla is quite okay. There are different real estate agents' websites, KFH, Foxton, right? And what else is quite popular?
Yeah, so there's other platforms like SpareRoom.com.
Oh, yeah.
We actually found this flat through that, but it was the agency who listed the flat on SpareRoom.com. So you will have agencies using the sort of more casual websites as well.
SpareRoom I think is slightly different from like official real estate agent because the flatmate who's living in that flat can upload, isn't it?
Yes.
Or a landlord can.
Both, basically. You can have landlords uploading, you can have real estate agencies uploading the full flat,
Yeah.
but you can also have flatmates just listing one room in a flat as well. Yeah. I would recommend not living with the landlord. I had one good experience and then one bad experience.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
So we call it live-in landlord, right?
Yes, a live-in landlord.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How was your experience? Can you spill the tea?
Yeah, it was quite traumatic for one. But one of them was a really affordable flat in Vauxhall, and the live-in landlord lived in Spain as well as Vauxhall.
Oh, yeah.
So she was
Going
sometimes
back and
there,
forth?
she sometimes wasn't. It was a really small flat, but I had good rate for it, and she was a really nice landlady. Like, no problems there. But then the second time I lived with someone,
She was still Vauxhall area? Or?
Camberwell, so near Vauxhall,
Oh.
south of London, and she evicted me after 6 days.
No, she did not.
She
really.
did. Yeah, have I not told you?
6 days.
There was a faulty door that you had to lock in a very specific way, otherwise it didn't lock properly.
Yeah.
And twice I didn't close it properly, and she said she couldn't trust me. And it was
Didn't you write a contract?
Yeah. She told me I was evicted and needed to leave. It was a very rundown flat. I think she was going through certain things.
Yeah.
So I think she was genuinely very anxious and very stressed with the situation. But when I was like, okay, can I get that in writing?
Yeah.
She messaged me and was like, oh no, this is your choice. You can choose to leave. You can stay if you want.
That's
just
ridiculous.
So I am quite wary of
Yeah.
those kind of precarious situations, and I think it wasn't the worst of situations because you can get really exploitative landlords. I don't think she was intentionally exploitative. I think she was just a bit unstable. And I would not live with a landlord again.
Yeah.
But having that security in London, I think, is quite hard to find because there's so many sort of casual situations, especially on SpareRoom.com.
Yeah, I heard notorious stories for the people who found a flatmate in SpareRoom.com. It's totally up to your luck, right?
Yeah.
You can't really imagine or know someone how that person would act or behave in their daily life.
Absolutely. But then I guess you can I guess you do learn to sort of look out for red flags a little bit and be a little more judicious. But it's difficult because you can't know all scenarios.
Yeah.
But I think avoiding live-in landlords or landladies.
Or also you should definitely go for a viewing. Viewing means you go to the property and see how it is. Go talk to person who's living there, ask them some questions, try to spot some red flags.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel it's very quick flat hunting in London because things are in such demand. So if you find a place with a good price, they may have 10 viewings in that day and someone will take it that day. So you may feel pressure. You have to take the flat as quickly as possible. But I think that could lead you to sort of make a rash decision.
It does.
What kind of things do you look for when you're at a flat viewing?
I think first of all, when I scroll down and see the property picture, I need to like them. I really value if there's like big window, good sunlight, not too old house. That can potentially like cause some problems. I think the location really matters. Most of all, the pricing. Because in Korea, all the apartments are pretty much standardized. Like the way they look is not really different from what you would expect. And it's all pretty modern. But in UK, especially in London, when I was doing house hunting and go for viewing many different areas, property, old house, new house, it looks so different. Some of the houses, it looks really weird. The structure of the house, sometimes there's like a bed right underneath some maybe like sloped roof. And there's like a really tiny window. One room that I remember, I went viewing in Camden. It was a room that looked like a basement. So I walked in and if this was like a room, there was no window whatsoever in every side of the room. But there was like tiny window above the ceiling. So it's like, that's a prison, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But because Camden is quite central, the rent was like around £1,000. And I could smell the mold and I could clearly tell the air circulation wasn't really good, no ventilation system.
That affects your health. And I think mold is such a common issue in places in London. Yeah. It's something you really have to look out for. And there have been some like really serious cases in the news of landlords I think it's often council-run flats where people have less choice over being able to move, where they're stuck in these places where landlords do not respond to them or are not looking after the place, and like children have died as a result of the mold issues in certain places.
Yeah, so it gets a serious health issue. It
can get really bad. Yeah. Are you you discovered something this morning?
Today I was looking at my ceiling and I discovered that water is leaking from the upper floor. So I had to message the flat and let know the real estate agents. Yeah, those things happen all the time in London flats. Like, even you take such a good care of your flat, it's not up to you. Something wrong happens. Suddenly, your heater's not working. Water seems a little weird.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's difficult. It depends. You have to get quite lucky with a landlord that sort of actions things quickly. We are through a real estate agency and we didn't have a working oven for about a year. And we were chasing all the time. We spent about 3 weeks without lights working because of a leak in the roof. So we were showering in the dark. It was quite bad. So they're not excellent. And there's also this, when you look at a new flat, sort of, have you heard of the landlord special?
No.
Like, but everything is painted white. Basically, you just paint. So in our flat, everything was painted white. They painted over cupboards, so you couldn't open the cupboards because it was like it was a varnish paint that solidifies really strong. So we have a bathroom window you can't open because they painted over that.
Why would they do that?
Because if everything's white, it looks clean, and it's sort of the landlord special. Everything's clean, neutral, get a higher price.
I had no idea about that.
So like, paying attention to the details.
Yeah.
It might look clean and white, but look at the amenities. Are they working? Look in the radiators. When I moved in here, we did a really thorough clean.
Yeah.
I had to clean inside the radiator because you can't access it. So I did is I put a bucket underneath it and I poured water through it.
Yeah.
So much dirt came out. And in my radiator in my room, 3... You know those things you use to clean your teeth?
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of plastic and then a bit of metal,
Yeah.
like floss the thing. 3 of those came out of my radiator.
Who puts it in there?
I think someone must have just lived their life sitting in here. I don't know what they were doing. I've cleaned it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm just on a rant.
Yeah, radiator.
But look at the details.
Detail really matters.
Also, I feel like a huge thing is sort of like how well insulated a flat is.
Oh, sound insulation also matters a lot.
Sound and heat.
Oh,
I was
sound
thinking
and heat.
Winter, you can get there's lots of old buildings in London with really high ceilings that it will be very expensive to heat in winter. So that's something to look out for.
Yeah. There's lots of things we should like check when you're looking for your flat. Something like if the bills are included or not. Bills is like, it can be, if we think about bill, there can be different things like electricity, water, gas, if there's gas inside the house, or internet, like these utility bills. You have to check if it's included in the rent or not. It totally depends, but mostly not.
Yeah, also different areas in London will have different council tax, which you pay on top. My area, I think, is actually one of the highest in London.
Is it?
I think so. Someone told me that.
It's
I think
pretty
you told me
expensive.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a council tax band, like A, B, C, D, E, I guess. What depends on that is like a yearly tax that you should, because you're living in London. Yeah.
So it's something to look out for on the finances.
Yeah. And when you're looking for flats, you need to go like multiple viewings as much as you can, because there's nothing better than going on site and looking at it.
Yeah.
Well, I was surprised how competitive flat hunting is. One time I went for a viewing, and we're like whole tour group, like about 5 to 6 teams were waiting for one property viewing because that one was like slightly cheaper than the others around it. And then as soon as viewing ended, the real estate agent was said, okay, anyone who wants to submit to request to sign up for this flat, write down your bidding, like the amount of the bidding rent. I think now it's no longer possible, that like bidding method, after the resident law changed recently.
Yeah, there's a new renters' rights law that's come into effect.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it,
From
but that
this
would
month.
be good, yeah. Because we also bid, we just put in an offer slightly above what they were advertising to get this place.
Yeah. I'm not clearly sure, but I think from this month, after this act kicks in, they should only accept a price that's written explicitly.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Wow. I've been lucky when I flat hunted in London with this place. I had my flatmates. We were all coordinating together. We had a shared spreadsheet, and so we went to different viewings. I was really busy at the time, so I didn't actually go to the viewings. So it was kind of all organised for me. So I didn't really have to put in as much effort as they did. So I was quite lucky.
That's very good, yeah. Like, who you live with really matters a lot. Depends on your lifestyle, but my work is fully remote. I work at home all the time. So it matters who I live with. I think luckily I live with my sister, which really helps me to feel like home and be with my family, not to be bored or lonely.
But if you were going for a new flatmate, say you had to get a new one, what kind of qualities do you look for in a flatmate? What's important in everyday living to you?
I'm not really a tricky person. I'm pretty chill, as long as I think. I think the red flag that I see would be not too considerate, like making noise all the time, too loud. Just like small things. If you come back home really late, like 2 a.m., let's say, it's nice to be careful about the noise. But some people are really inconsiderate about it, those things. And it'd be nice if the common area is clean. When I was doing exchange student in Czech Republic, I had one experience. One of my flatmates, she would cook like a grilled fish all the time and never like clean it up well and eat inside the room, which made my whole room really stinky. I have a sensitive nose, I think, which makes me really uncomfortable or being around her. Things like that. I don't have high expectation. It's just good as long as they keep the boundary. But or just like maybe smell and noise. I think that's the thing.
So yeah, cleanliness and respect. Yeah, I agree. Because I feel like when you are applying for a spare room on SpareRoom.com or other flats, you have to have your own profile and describe what you're looking for, what kind of flatmate you are.
Yeah.
So I can see where you would fit in, because you'll have people in their early 20s who are sort of more like, oh, I'm really sociable, looking forward to like, I like having, they don't say I like having parties, but some people are looking for more of a sociable flat.
Yeah.
Some just
I like being social. I like, you know, I'm okay with being with friend all the time or the party. Yeah, as long as it's not too big.
Yeah. No, I feel like social is good, but also I like home as a refuge, like a peaceful place where your brain can reset. It's nice. And you can host art parties or whatever.
Yeah, flash share, I have endless story to share, but maybe we can carry on the next episode.
Yeah, I have some good bad flatmate stories.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And a bad date story in the future.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That was good.